got the music in me. I feel funky, I feel good. Wanna tell ya, I'm in the neighborhood. Wanna fly like a bird on a wing. Hold on to your hat, honey. Sing, 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 sing. I heat up, I cool down. When something gets in my way, I go round it. Won't let life get me down. It's gonna take it the way that I found it. I got the music in me. I got the music in me. I got the music in me. Yeah. I got the music in me. 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 Woo! I got the music in me. I got the music in me. I got the music in me. Ain't got no trouble in my life. No foolish dream to make me cry. I'm never frightened. I'm never worried. I know I'll always get by. I got the music in me. I got the music in me. I got the music in me. Yeah. I got the music in me. I got the music in me. I got the music in me. Yeah. You got the music. You got the music. We've got the music in us. Yes, we do. I got the music in me. I got the music in me. I got the music. Pretty music. I got the music in me.
I got the music in me of gratitude. I am so grateful for all of the mothers on the planet right now. So today is Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. We're sending a shout out and love and hugs to all the mothers in our community. And, you know, it's just beautiful what mothers do. First of all, they bring us all in, don't they? And then it's the nurturing and the caring and being there for us. And so if you are a mother, we want you to feel this. Imagine that hundreds, if not thousands of people are standing up and giving you a huge applause for all that you are, all that you bring. It's one of the greatest gifts we could ever receive is the love and the care from our mothers. So happy Mother's Day.
And I got the music in me of joy because my mother is nothing if not joyful. I remember my wedding day. My mom showed up. We got married in our house, Sean and I, and my mother showed up 3 hours early in this beautiful skin-tight dress, this faux fur stole, and she knocked, opened the door, and she goes, "Can you do my hair?" So
on your wedding day.
On my wedding day. So anyway, I love my mom so much. She knows how to party. She knows how to be funny. She's amazing. I love her. Happy Mother's Day. I love you. I love you. I love you.
And we know where you got it from.
Exactly.
Yay! Well, I have the music in me of love. My mother absolutely taught me unconditional love. My mother told my sister and I that as girls we could do anything we wanted, we could be anything we wanted, and I truly experienced unconditional love from my mother. And it is an extraordinary thing. And so yes, whether you're a mother, an auntie, a grandmother, an adopted mother, somebody who takes a mother role in somebody else's life, regardless of your gender or whether or not you birthed that person, being a mother is an extraordinarily amazing thing. And so we just really want to honor and acknowledge our mothers. Yeah. And the mother in us, and the divine feminine, that is that nurturing heart that each one of us has. And so in honor of our mothers, our invocation this morning to go within, we invite you to sink deeply into this. Well, we'll let Cornell introduce this piece for you. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
So 11 years ago, I walked in the door of CSLDallas. I was asked to do to play music for a video project, and I thought I would be here for about 2 hours tops. Little did I know this was going to become a nurturing home for me over these 11 years as well. This song is a song that I wrote for my mother called Mother's Hands, and she has the hands of a musician as well. But ultimately, this is a song about nurturing and caring for others, not because we're told we have to do that, but as humans, that's what we do. And so while you hear this song, you can imagine a time when you've been nurtured, or maybe right now you're being nurtured in this space, right here and now, and maybe by this song. So enjoy.
As we come back from that beautiful, beautiful flute piece from Cornell, I want to say good morning. Welcome to CSLDallas, a Center for Spiritual Living. We are radically inclusive, spiritually progressive, and we transform lives. And we do that through our spiritual teachings and principles based on science of mind. If you are here for the first time, I truly want to welcome you home, to yourself, and to your best life. Go on to our website, CSLDallas.org. At the bottom of the homepage, you'll see a place where you can sign up to get our e-news. And so you'll know how we are giving you great spiritual content. So thank you for joining us, and we are so glad that all of you are here. And now we're going into Love My Spirit by Charity.
I know what it's like to love my spirit, to dance in the light of my truth. I know what it's like to love my spirit, to have my heart open to share with you. I've had some trouble, have had some pain. This heart of mine has been around through good times and bad, through sunshine or rain. There's one thing that I've always found: under the tears, under the smiles, under the laughter and pain, there's something so pure, so sweet and so true, and I know it won't ever change. I know what it's like to love my spirit, to dance in the light of my truth. I know what it's like to love my spirit, to have my heart open to share with you. I've seen you struggle, have watched you fall, but Lord knows I've been there too. You may feel alone with no one to call. I want you to know I'm here for you. Oh, under your tears, under your smiles, under truth. Teach you to say, I wanna hear you say, I wanna hear you say. I know what it's like to love my spirit, to dance in the light of much good. I know what it's like to love my spirit, to have my heart open to share with you. La da da da, la da da da, la da 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 da, la da da da. La da da da, la da 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 da.
I love that song from Charity, Love My Spirit. I have to tell you that it makes me weep every time I hear it. It's one of the things that the science of mind, CSLDallas and New Thought, has really done for me. It's really allowed me to experience the joy of loving my own spirit. And as we celebrate Mother's Day today, we're really moving into this beautiful idea of designing our life so that we can create this new normal that's coming down the pike. And so much of this new normal actually is based on new ideas, new values, a reconnection. People are talking about what it's like to sit out on the end of their driveway and notice that their neighbors are sitting out at the end of their driveways like it used to be. People are spending a lot more time connecting with their families, even if it's over technology, FaceTime or House Party or WhatsApp. And the extraordinary value that our folks, that especially women, are having, carrying all of these nurturing, caring, healthcare activities, right? It's really a powerful moment to stop and think about what does it mean to create a new normal. And in service to that, today we're talking about redesigning our life. And that can be very, very challenging. It can be scary. They talk about reinventing yourself over and over and over again. And we can find lots of times in our life when we feel like we have to do that. And some of them are quite big. I'm the daughter of immigrants. My parents came to the United States before I was born. My sister was born in Germany. I grew up speaking German in the home because my mother came to the US not speaking English. She taught herself English from the Sears and Roebuck catalog and the movies. What an amazing thing to redesign your life. Go 3,000 miles or 2,000 miles across the pond. Go to a place you don't know anything about to start something new. Why did my parents come here? Because they believed that after the war, there wasn't anything for them anymore in Germany, that their opportunity lay here in the United States. When I was about 4 years old or so, my grandparents came over, my dad's mom and dad. They came over. They lived with us for 9 excruciating months. And they spent those 9 months trying to convince my parents to move back to Germany, to their family, to what they knew. They worked on my mother's discomfort about not being able to speak the language well, all kinds of things. But my parents chose to stay. And they designed a life in which my sister and I were raised. Although we spoke German, we were raised as Americans. They were creating a new normal. They were creating a new idea about family and about family life. And while we honored and loved our German traditions, you see mine come out in a big way every holiday season. We were a hybrid, and we were raised to be Americans, and my parents were extraordinarily proud of that. That is what it means to design a new life in a big way, right? And we've been sort of in that experience. Things are really different right now, and we have the opportunity to design our life. But it doesn't always have to be in a big, huge way. There's lots of little ways as we begin to create a new normal in our life now, as we begin slowly and carefully to think about opening up, going back to work, the different things in lives in our activity, right? Piece by piece to create that new normal. Of course, Tracy talked last week about sitting in the waiting room. We're just kind of at the end of being in the waiting room, starting to think about what's happening and the quality in which we embrace this new opportunity of creating a new normal. So in service to this topic, we're reading an amazing book. It's called The Not So Big Life. And it's based on this woman who's an architect, and she uses exactly the principles that she's learned in remodeling homes and discovered that those principles apply perfectly to us thinking about remodeling our own lives. To think about, we don't always have to go across the pond. We don't always have to be working on something that is bigger and better and more and acquiring things that we've seen in the housing market so much in the last, 10, 15 years. But that sometimes it's enough just to take the home we're in and see what needs to be opened up. To look at rooms and maybe decide that, well, that doesn't have to actually be a dining room. Why couldn't it be a den? Why couldn't the den be the meditation room? Where does it say that these rooms have to look like this? They have to be designed this way. There's so much about our lives that we take as, well, this is so. You have a home. It has 3 bedrooms, it has 2 baths, it has a kitchen, it has a dining room, right? And they all have their purpose, and it's all very, well, automatic. And this is just the way it is. So many of these things that we think are simply so have been disrupted. Right, haven't they? They've been disrupted, which has given us the opportunity to see the very structure of our own lives, the bones of our own lives differently. So listen to what Sarah says in the book, The Not So Big Life. One of the biggest challenges for an architect working with remodeling clients is helping them envision what is being proposed. I'll often use models, hand-drawn sketches, or computer-generated perspectives and animations to help show how the house is going to look in its newly remodeled state. But learning to visualize the possibilities is usually an entirely new skill for homeowners who are used to seeing their house the way it is right now. Imagining what it will look like and feel like when a wall is removed or when the kitchen is relocated to the dining room's current position can test the visualization skills of even the most dedicated client. Looking at things in a new way is an important skill to master in the remodeling of our lives as well. To be able to see through the existing structure to the new shape that will gradually emerge can seem intimidating at first, but all it takes is practice. By learning to see through what appears to be absolute and permanent, you'll discover all sorts of flexibilities you've never dreamed were possible in your life. And you'll quickly learn to see the potential that your life remodeling holds in store. So now comes the creative work of remodeling, crafting a new design out of what is there by looking at the whole house differently. Usually it's not more space you need, but increased flow and the reconfiguring of rooms to make you feel comfortable and able to live more the way that you'd like to live. And isn't that exactly and precisely what we want to do in our own lives as we redesign lives, as we create this new normal? I don't know about you, but I have no interest in going back to the way it was. I don't want to have all those walls and barriers and confined spaces, and this is just the way it is. And the idea that things are so complex and so overwhelming that we can't figure out how to have it differently. We are already indifferent. The walls have already begun to be knocked down, and we can see glimpses of possibilities of this new normal. So I love this book. I think this book is an amazing opportunity for us to look at our lives like a metaphor. You can buy this book from us. You can go out on the website. You can email office manager at CSLDallas.org, and BB will be happy to send you a book. So thinking about remodeling our home as a metaphor. So the first question when you think about remodeling your home is bigger always better? And we can think about this in our same lives, in our own lives in the same way. We're so busy manifesting, and we can really decide that we're going to acquire a life. If I can just acquire a new job and acquire more things and acquire some cooler stuff and acquire all of these things, you see, we can feel like we are going to manifest a new life by manifesting all these things that we want, which is basically just a bigger life. But it isn't necessarily a better life, and it isn't necessarily the life that expresses the life of who we are. And I don't know about you, but I have found myself confronted right now in this chaos and this disruption, and I've seen lots of people who have been talking about what do they value? What's important? Stuck at home. Well, it's important to have our connections. It's important to take time in nature. It's important to have those moments to slow down. Do you see, these are all values that help us create a new normal. And not just acquiring stuff, but the doing, the busy, the Facebook, email, all that stuff that has almost unconsciously crept into, well, this is just the way it is. This is just the way it is. I have this little tiny kitchen and it's blocked off from my dining room and there isn't anything I can do about it. I can just, live with it, grouse about it, or go try to buy a new house. But I could actually imagine the whole thing differently. And the way that we imagine our home differently is exactly the same way we imagine our lives differently. It's not about the stuff. It's about the qualities. The quality of life, the quality of experience. I love that we're having this talk on Mother's Day, right? The divine feminine is so much about the experience of life, the savoring of life, the being present to what's going on. Yes, of course we want to manifest, and of course we want to create our lives. But there's something about creating that out of a deep, enriched, soulful place that is the quality of life that we want to experience, and not the things that we can point to that make up our lives. She talks about in this book how amazing so much of the qualities that we think about in our homes when we're going to remodel. We want space, we want openness, we want beauty. We want more of a feeling of home. We want flow and flexibility. We want our rooms to feel connected to each other. And we want our home to feel like a retreat, a refuge, a sanctuary. Well, I would use those same words to talk about my own life. Don't we want our lives to have space and openness, to have beauty, for us to feel like we belong in our lives, to feel flow and connection with people and life and all of the creativity that we have, and to feel the sanctuary in our own hearts, right in the life that we're living. Or we can just make do. We can think about what's cheap or what's been given to us. How many of us still have stuff in the guest room, that Aunt Matilda gave us that we're not willing to get rid of because Aunt Matilda might have her feelings hurt. What's been given to us, or quite frankly, what we've seen in the magazines, in the stores, and we've said, oh, I should have that because that looks like Martha Stewart's home, or that looks like my mother's home, or that looks like what my house should look like. Or is it a home that we're creating? designing based on the qualities of spirit. So right now we're in a Thomas Troward class, and we just completed a Thomas Troward class, and we've just been talking about, Troward talks about the 7 qualities of spirit: life, light, love, beauty, power, peace, and joy. The qualities of spirit. And that the more that we contemplate those qualities, the more that we open ourselves to the truth of who we are. Now, I was stunned to find, I was totally overwhelmed to find in this book, The Not So Big Life, that one of the very first qualities she talks about is beauty. Are we creating a beautiful home? And by definition, are we creating a beautiful life? And what might that actually mean? So often we focus on power and presence, manifestation, connection, flow. But what does it mean to focus on beauty? You know, I grew up where form follows function. I grew up on utilitarianism. And what's easy, what's convenient, that's why we have plastic forks, and that's why we use paper plates, and that's why we go to fast food, right? That's all utilitarianism. That has nothing to do with the expression of the quality of life itself. Actually, in a lot of circles, beauty is somehow considered elitist or old-fashioned, or like it's a limitation or a restriction. Like, I'm going to tell you what's beautiful. Well, that's silly. But all of us are inspired, filled by beauty in some way, whether it's the beauty of nature, the beauty of the cheek of a grandchild, the beauty of a piece of music, the beauty of a belly laugh. There's so many ways in which beauty enriches our life that maybe I know that I haven't really thought of. And beauty is such a deep feminine quality. I know my mother was very, very, very conscious of beauty in her clothes and beauty in her home and how she created that environment. And so this piece, Salute d'Amor, is Oscar on his violin. It's an honor of beauty and moms and what that means about the quality of life. So thank you, Oscar, for that beautiful piece of music. And you know, I have to tell you, I was utterly astonished as I was working on this talk this week, and I began to explore Ernest Holmes's writings in The Science of Mind and lots of other places. I was stunned at how many times he uses the term beauty in the list of qualities of life, the list of qualities of spirit. I don't know where I've been all these years. Oh yeah, love and power and peace and joy and abundance and all of that. He uses beauty over and over and over again to speak about the harmony of life, the harmonious unfolding, the harmonious process, the experience of everything being in a harmonious flow. And over again, he uses the term beauty. In Richer Living, Ernest Holmes says this: I believe it was Plato who said that God is love, truth, and beauty. It has always seemed wonderful to me that one of the world's greatest thinkers should have included beauty as a necessary part of the divine nature. How evident this beauty is everywhere we look. How wonderful is the landscape, the sunset, or the color of the desert at dawn. How beautiful is the daffodil in its sweet simplicity. And what majestic beauty and strength in the mountain and the wave. Everything is rooted in beauty. Beauty is harmony and right proportion. It is symmetry and charm and grace and loveliness. Surely we should identify ourselves with this terrific beauty that pours its warmth and color over everything and seems to be at the very root of our being. You know, I had to stop and think about that. This deep recognition that beauty is this notion of harmony and right proportion. Like, not necessarily always bigger is better, but the right proportion of the things that are an outpicturing of my life and of your life and of the qualities of the life that we choose. I got to thinking about it. Karen's been really lovely. She's really complimented me a lot on how we put the condo together. She loves it after I've taken down all the Christmas stuff and I put decorations up, and she's like, oh no, you go do your thing. And then she, like, every once in a while she'll say, oh, let's move that. But mostly she just goes around, and it could be days, and then all of a sudden she'll go, look at that wonderful little thing you did. Because what I noticed in reflection is that I like to be able to sit anywhere in my life, whether it's at CSLDallas or at my home or my office. I like to sit there, and I like to be able to gaze anywhere I like and have my eye rest on a moment of beauty. Why? Because every time I do, it's a mini meditation. Harmony and right proportion. I'm instantly calmed. I'm instantly just, it's this, what a beautiful little thing. And it doesn't have to be a lot, and it doesn't have to be fancy, and it doesn't have to be expensive. But there's something harmonious and proportional, and it's restful to my soul. And I think that's one of the things that beauty does for our lives, and that is part of this divine feminine that we celebrate. And I think it is critical that it's part of our new normal. This thing that allows us to be more restful in our own lives, that where we can feel into that peace. That, and not that it's outer induced, but that there's a recognition, right? There's a recognition of the quality of life, the quality of spirit, and our being responds, and we are in alignment with that quality. This creates an inner refuge, right? It creates a peaceful place within our souls. And don't you think that's the epitome of a beautiful life? A life that is soulful, that is in alignment with truth, that is deep within the soul of our being. I would ask you, what does a beautiful life look like to you? What if we took a beautiful life as opposed to a successful life or a prosperous life or a big life or right? It doesn't mean we can't have those things, but what if a beautiful life were a way in which we explored the kind of life that we are creating in this new normal. To me, a beautiful life is a whole life. It's not just acquiring this or manifesting that. It's a whole life that is harmonious within itself. It has the right proportions of work and play and family and alone time and spirit and physicality, and all in a beautiful, right proportion. So it's not so much about what we have, but it's about who we are and how we show up. That, to me, begins to identify what it means to have a beautiful life. Beauty is a quality of soulful living. So if you think about your life right now, as you reflect on this new normal that's coming down the pike, what walls in your life need to be removed? What rooms have been closed down, maybe that need to be opened up, or perhaps even repurposed? Things that have felt important that you recognize and realize maybe just aren't as important as you thought they were, and you would like to repurpose that time and that space in your life for other things. And to fundamentally ask ourselves, and she goes over this over and over and over again, what is the organizing principle that you are using to create a new normal? Because that's what you ask when you're going to remodel a house. What's the organizing principle? Family, flow, a room of one's own, children, open to nature, right? What is the organizing principle that allows our life to be a beautiful, soulful life? How would you describe it? How would you allow it to emerge from you? One of the things I learned from my mother is that outer beauty is a reflection of inner beauty. And that I remember really thinking about this a lot as I really moved into spirituality. And I spent a lot of time thinking about what does it mean to be petty, right? Versus having a universal, unconditional viewpoint. I often found myself having a very petty kind of human viewpoint, right? And so here we could ask ourselves, where in our thinking are we ugly? Where's our thinking ugly? Where's our energy ugly? And how would we describe that? What is ugly energy to us that we carry around, that we live out of? And what would it look like if our lives reflected our inner beauty? You know, there's deep wisdom to be found everywhere. And so in Paul, there is the reminder, think on these things, whatever is lovely, true, and good. In other places, lovely is translated into beautiful. Think on these things. Ernest Holmes says exactly the same thing. Contemplate the highest idea you have of life, that which has the richest qualities of spirit. Contemplate that and expand that in your being. And allow that to be the thing from which your life unfolds. Sometimes I notice that I'm shocked by the beauty of a single flower, by sunlight on rain-drenched leaves. I'm moved by the beauty of a kind word, a loving act. I am filled with the beauty of a breathtaking decision, a harmonious conversation, or a joyous laugh. What are moments of beauty for you? Look for them, see them, be them. Maybe even invite this as an organizing principle into your life. Do you see, it's not just about more. It's not just about bigger. It's about better. And what is a better but to be more in alignment with the truth of our souls? So we're going to allow Lainey Bernstein to bring this to a close with Karen Drucker's song, This or Something Better.
This is called This or Something Better by Karen Drucker. This or something better is waiting for me. I know that this or something better is is the key that will set my heart free. I'm gonna let go of control. I'm gonna get out of my way. I know the universe conspires to bring me heaven today. I know that this or something better is awaiting for me. I know that this or something better is the key that will set my heart free. I'm tired of playing it small, doing what I think I should. The universe stands up to meet me, so I can claim my highest good. I know that this or something better is waiting for me. I know that this or something better is the key that will set my heart free. I know it, I claim it, I have it right now. I know it, I claim it, I have it right now. I know it, I claim it, I have it right now. I know it, I claim it, I have it right now. Oh, this or something better is waiting for me. I know that this or something better is the key that will set my heart free. I'm gonna say yes to my dreams. Let my imagination soar. I have so many gifts that I must use, and that was what I was put here for. I know that this or something better is waiting for me. I know that this or something better is the key that will set my heart free. I know it, I claim it, I have it right now. You know it, you claim it, you have it right now. I know it, I claim it, I have it right now. We know it, we claim it, why have it right now. Sing it, this or something better is waiting for me. I know that this or something better is the key that will set my heart free.
This or something better. You know, it's really interesting where I don't know if you've seen the memes on Facebook where all of the countries that have really amazingly worked with this pandemic, that are already closing it down, that have really had extraordinary results, can we just say they all have women at their head of state? So let us do this prayer, this spiritual mind treatment for the divine feminine. And let me be clear, this is not about women. All of us have the divine feminine within us, just as all of us have the divine masculine. Our culture has been for thousands of years really primacy the divine masculine. We've got a lot of good out of it. It's only about bringing it into balance, right? So let us bring the divine feminine up to meet that divine masculine so that this harmonious, right proportion of the ways that we are in the world can work and play together. So join me as we go within. And so as we take that deep breath, feeling ourselves dropping into the center of our being, we drop right into the center that is the center of the universe itself. Spirit is that infinite circle whose circumference is nowhere and whose center is everywhere. That means the center of life, the center of spirit, the center of God itself is right where I am, right where you are, right where every life is, right where all beings are. Everywhere is a center of the divine, infinite love and presence. Nothing left out. Nothing not a part of it. And that infinite reality is so whole and so complete that we can recognize it as power and presence. We can recognize it as law and love. We can recognize it as the impulse of life, the trajectory of creation to manifest, to make things happen, and that open experience of allowing life to flow, to savor, and to create from within. And so as we move into this prayer today, let us affirm the rising of the divine feminine, that inner reality, that aspect of the qualities of life that live in beauty, in harmony, that value connection and peace, that bring forward our desire for life to be savored and experienced right in this moment. Let us know that as we bring the divine feminine forward, that it is in perfect alignment with the divine masculine, the yin and the yang in harmonious proportion, so that each and every time that we seek to manifest, we bring the divine masculine forward. And each and every time that we invite intuition, inspiration, and flow, we bring the divine feminine forward. And we allow that divine feminine to open our souls, to fill our hearts, to express beauty, to contemplate that which unfolds out of the organic richness of life itself. Recognizing this divine feminine as the healing arm, the healing aspect of the infinite, let us allow it, each one of us, man or woman, to allow the divine feminine to heal any sense of separation, any sense that we have to be this way or that way, one way or the other. The divine feminine embraces us with that unconditional love that whatever way we are, it is recognized and seen, lifted and loved. And I affirm and declare that with this lifting of the divine feminine, bringing it full-orbed into its own power and presence in life itself, that it is absolutely moving in the world, bringing forward harmony, bringing forward everything in right proportion, whether that is health or wealth or time or love or food or shelter or anything that is required. That divine feminine brings it forth in right proportion, absolutely supporting, nourishing, nurturing, feeding, enveloping, embracing each and every one of us, every life. May the divine feminine permeate our businesses, our corporations, our leaders, our politicians, our politics, our nations, our planet. Not to take it over, but to bring it into balance. The divine masculine and the divine feminine as a perfect whole, a whole life that is beautiful. It is in that beauty that I cast my eye. Let us hold that as the vision and know that it is absolutely unfolding right here and right now, creating a new normal in our own lives and in life on our planet altogether. In gratitude, I accept that this is the case, that it is already so, it is already working. I trust the process. I let it go. And so it is.
Our theme for May is creating a new normal, and this community, CSLDallas, is definitely helping to create a new normal in this world right here and right now, not only here in Dallas, but throughout the whole country and the world. So I'm asking you to give, and to give generously to this community that is giving so much spiritual content for the sake of our own lives and for the lives of everyone around us. Because it's time to create a new normal where diversity is celebrated, where inclusivity is a given, where everyone is lifted and living from a place of equity and love and peace and harmony. So you can give through text giving, and that number is 972-954-4404. Set that up once. It's easy to text give from there. You can give through the Facebook donate button that is right there in front of you if you're on Facebook Live, and you can go to CSLDallas.org and hit donate. And we appreciate your generosity to keep this community growing and thriving.
And then, you guys, on Tuesday, we have a new offering. We started last week. We're going to keep it going. Consciously Seeking Spirituality. With the very own, the marvelous Karen Frog. So last week we had James Van Prague. This week we got Reverend Andrietta Earl from Heart and Soul, right? Yes. And she's a powerhouse speaker and an amazing teacher. And so it's a one-on-one conversation with her, and then also one-on-one conversation with a community member to talk about, so not just spiritual leaders, but also people like you and me, talk about TSRWs and how this teaching has changed our lives.
Yes.
So stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
Good. And then if you've had foundations, then this coming Thursday, our very own Tracy Brown is starting a fabulous class, Self-Mastery. Right, and self-mastery is really about allowing ourselves to use all the ideas that we glean from our spiritual work and apply them to our lives. We can begin to master ourselves, our spirit, our life, our mind, and all that sometimes messy stuff that we do, right? And the messes that we make. So Tracy's going to really help us. She's amazing. She's an incredible teacher.
Yes.
You do not want to miss it.
Awesome. And then, for those of you that aren't in that class and haven't taken a class from us before, or perhaps you've taken a ton of classes here at CSL Dallas, either in person or in line, we've got a new offering, and it starts this Thursday as well. And Dr. Petra is doing this. It's a 3-week class. It's via Love Offering. You must register. And it is navigating the pandemic through the lens of the hero's journey. Okay, that alone makes me want to take this class. So, it's about being in the challenge and in the quest and then the return. And right now we're right in the challenge and going into this thing called a quest. And you want to register for this class and be in this class with Petra.
And with Christine.
And with Christine Volkmer, practitioner Christine Volkmer.
Yeah,
so there you go, 2 powerhouses as well. It's a 3-week class, 3-week investment of your time and love offering. Got to register now.
So you guys stick around, because after this we got a Q&A with the speaker. It's going to be awesome. And before we leave, though, we also have a performance of Mary Go Get It with our very own Cleo and the CSL Dallas band. But first.
And then also, if you want prayer, if something within you is activated, or you really want some spiritual coaching and spiritual support, you can jump over into the practitioner Zoom room. Our licensed spiritual coaches are standing by. They'll meet with you one-on-one in your own private breakout room to do spiritual mind treatment, affirmative prayer with you. So the link is in your chat room, and you can just jump on over there right now. If you stay for the Q&A, they'll still be there in 30 minutes, and you can jump on over at the end of the Q&A. So lots of ways in which for us to continue to stay connected while we're physically distant. We love you. We miss you. We love seeing you online, and all the ways in which we see you. Have a blessed week.
And happy Mother's Day again,
Yes, happy
Moms.
Mother's Day.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye. Stronger than you've ever been. Can't stop your hustle. Your faith
to live